right, let's run through another Mtel question. This one says, given ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, which of the following equations is a step in solving for x by completing the square? All right, completing the square is kind of a complicated process that we use primarily for putting an equation into vertex form when we're graphing parabolas. There are other reasons to use it, but that's the main thing that I see in high school math. It's a tough thing that you don't use a whole lot in math, and it's pretty specific. But I'll walk you through kind of the steps that we need to do to solve a problem like this, and hopefully one of the steps will end up being one of the answers. So we got to keep an eye on that. So the first step in completing the square is going to be to move c to the other side of the equation. So start off with just moving that c over. So we'll have ax squared plus bx, and then I'm going to leave space here because we end up adding something to this side of the equation, and then I'm going to have negative c on the other side. Next, we have to make sure that we don't have a leading coefficient on the x squared, so we're going to divide the entire equation by a. So this gets divided by a, this gets divided by a, this gets divided by a. So now we've got x squared plus b over a x equals negative c over a. Then one of the weirder steps, and sort of the main step in completing the square, is to take the coefficient in front of the x term, divide that by 2, and square it. And then add that to both sides. We're going to take b over a, divide that by 2, which would give us b over 2a, and then we're going to square that term. And what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So we're going to do that on the other side as well. We're going to add that to this side. We got b over 2a squared. When we square that out, we're going to get x squared plus b over a x plus b squared. So I'm just distributing the squared to the top and the bottom here. b squared goes on top, and then 2a squared would be 4a squared. That's going to equal negative c over a plus this same term after we square this thing. So it's b squared over 4a squared. If we take a look at our answers, that matches answer A exactly. So the answer to this one is answer A. The point of completing the square is that after these steps, we get a perfect square, which looks like, so it's going to be x plus half of the middle term, so plus b over 2a quantity squared. So this whole left side of the equation, what we've done here, turns this into a perfect square that looks like this. And that's the point of the whole thing. So if you're ever completing the square, typically this would be your final step. But the answer in this one just happens to be an intermediary step. But just for the sake of showing how to complete the square, this is what you would have ended up with if you completed that process.